Are we really alone in the galaxy? Infinite stars surround our world, and aeons ago, intelligent life must have emerged somewhere and slowly evolved into a spacefaring society. Like us, surely these beings would have been drawn to explore. So then, where is everyone? Is it simply the nature of intelligent life to destroy? And maybe the only signs of life they're able to send are in a brief window before that world perishes. Still, no one has come, and no radio signals can be detected across our silent galaxy. Could civilizations ever cross thousands of light years and find more than alien graves? Maybe it's just pure luck that greed or catastrophe have not yet ended our species. Can we make the right choices? Might we learn from our mistakes? Will you overcome the Fermi Paradox? The Fermi Paradox.
Hello, Twin Minds here. Welcome to the Fermi Paradox. This one fascinated me from the get-go due to the colorful and interesting art style, a little bit reminiscent of kind of 50s and 60s sci-fi era. And the idea of the Fermi Paradox itself has always fascinated me. Ultimately, the Fermi Paradox is the idea that there is a significant amount of evidence that life exists out there, beyond our own. Math supports it. Billions, trillions of stars and planets. It's essentially inevitable that there's other life out there. Whether or not within our timeline, or future or past, it's up for debate. But ultimately the Fermi Paradox is, why haven't we seen anything else? Why do we seem to be the only ones out there? And there are many possible explanations to that, including things like, advanced civilizations warring themselves to death, or heat deathing their planet because of the way that civilizations tend to do, as we're kind of proving ourselves right now. So this game is kind of about guiding civilizations, I believe. But I'm not entirely sure. I like the Fermi Paradox idea. So let's try it out. You are the galactic gardener. Sapient life will evolve and prosper in our galaxy. Help these civilizations to grow and find each other in the vastness of space-time. But beware, sometimes you have to prevent them from destroying themselves or others. Why, yes, I would like to know how to play. Only a handful of planets have the optimum conditions for life to grow. Sure. The Frogstor System. No sapient life forms have evolved on this planet. Frogstor is a flare system, contains the swamp moon Frogstor 1, additional rocky planets, and a massive debris disk. One huge brown gas giant fills the night sky of the swamp moon Frogstor 1. Nearly every plant on the planet's surface is full of thorns and very toxic. The gigantic river deltas covering the surface of Frogstor 1 are home to millions of different animals. These are synthesis flares. The game always pauses when flares are available, so we can collect them. I guess that one. I didn't have the option to get the other ones. Oh well. You'll need to accumulate synthesis to make optimal choices for the future. Sure thing. A new civilization is born. With the passing of space-time, new civilizations will emerge and existing ones will undergo major changes. Event. Why, yes. Rigel System. Sapient life evolved on Rigel 7. A life form on Rigel 7 started making simple tools and developed a rudimentary language. But which species will form a Stone Age civilization in the Rigel System? Many were increasingly of the opinion that they'd all made a big mistake in coming down from the trees in the first place. Douglas Adams. The first of many decisions to come. Click on the options to see which species could populate this planet. If you want to choose the balanced species, you have to spend synthesis. On the other hand, picking an unbalanced species will generate a lot of synthesis. Choose wisely. Ah, okay, so we need synthesis to do stuff. And we have the option of spending synthesis for a balanced species that's not likely to get themselves killed, or an imbalanced one that will probably get themselves killed, but will get some points for the deal. Interesting. Rigel, a blue supergiant star, is orbited by the ice planet Rigel 7 and 3 smaller stars in proximity. The chemical composition of the ice crystals on Rigel 7 gives the polar caps a greenish color. For an ice planet, Rigel 7 has a rich diversity of resident flora. Every animal on the planet develops some kind of fur, even the ocean fish and the bird species. Alright, so standard species, no change. Balanced species appears to have symbols that haven't been described to me at all. This seems to be a high population, perhaps? High morbidity? Low morbidity? The symbols haven't been explained. So I'm going to go with a standard species. Oh. Do we get to choose, or is that just what happens? Ah, okay, there we go. Balanced species. The Esh, a rational species of furry fish creatures with a very complex swarm behavior. The Kular, aggressive humanoid pig creatures wandering the ice plains primarily to compete with others of their kin. Or the Dorloth. Oh, that's a fascinating piece of art. Sentient, resilient plants. They dwell under the ice and trap other organisms for nutrients. So they are unbalanced, but they give me points. I was told points are good, and I like the idea of sentient plants living underground. Let's do it. Probably a horrible plan. The first civilization is born. This is your first sapient species in the galaxy. Take a good care of them. Others will evolve at a later time. You, as the galactic gardener, plants, will be responsible for them too. So, here we go. Symbols. Tech level. To achieve the Stone Age, the species has to gather more knowledge. Population. Few people inhabit this planet. Greater numbers are more resilient to disasters. Resources. If the resources of this planet are exhausted, this civilization will perish. Harm potential. Be observant. War can be the downfall of any society. And ethics. People headed towards utopia will handle future crises better than those approaching a dystopia. Alright. Look, more flares! You can choose different outcomes now. Conserve the natural resources of this planet, or generate some synthesis to use later, or increase the consumption to gain more synthesis. Okay. Remember that the game is always paused when you collect flares, so you can take your time. Okay. So more resources, less resources. We have quite a few resources. Wait, is this using more? Using less. Use less. Civilization values can be changed in many ways. Tech level to increase or decrease the research of the civilization, increase or decrease population growth, increase or decrease the rate of resource consumption. Okay. Increase or decrease the intensity of deadly conflicts, increase the dystopia level or increase the utopia level. Not entirely sure which. Okay. The logic and wording on these hurts my head sometimes, but that's okay. We'll be fine. We'll probably make terrible, terrible choices. It's fine. And random chance, because why not? Click on the upwards navigation arrow to go back to the galaxy overview, which is up there. I tried to click that one, because of course. The galaxy is your garden. It will take great amount of care, and hard decisions have to be made so that all species can survive and flourish. Will you be able to guide them so that the far future they can leave their planets, cross thousands of light years, and find each other? If you need to know more, how to play. Stuff has happened. Let's go with the Trappist system. 2 major species on Trappist Prime begin to interbreed. Rigel System. A great war threatens Rigel. Headhunting. The Dorloth collect the heads of their defeated foes. These trophies are very prestigious, and further conflicts are started in order to obtain more of them. Lock the target, bait the line, spread the net, and catch the man. Alright. I could spend some synthesis to weasel down the population a little bit, reduce the resource usage. It says minus. So is that minus towards the dystopia scale? Or minus as in reduce the negative impact, thus increasing it to the utopia scale? That's where the challenge of the negative versus positive balance is. I'm assuming negative is always going to go this direction on the scale. So we're reducing war casualties, we're reducing danger level, but also bringing it down to dystopia while reducing resource scarcity, etc. Possibly. This one is kind of a minor. Let's go with the minor change. Regular conflict. Conflict can be good. Brutal practice causes many Dorloth to lose their heads. 400,000 casualties. That's a bad thing. Headhunters dominate the Dorloth tribe. The collection of heads never stops and is carried out obsessively. 1.2 million casualties. Or, collecting of the heads is only used in controlled rituals. It is forbidden to start wars or conflicts for the purpose of sacred trophy gathering. Well, I mean, this is probably the best plan. You know what, let's try to make peaceful plans. Taking everyone's head is not really in anyone's interest. And I don't know what any of these do, so let's push that button. On Rigel 7, the Dorloth civilization is born. Minus population, or normal. An influential Dorloth chieftain rises to power on Rigel 7. The Dorloth establishes a new tribe. Random. Sure, that seems fun. Dorloth use cave paintings to spread lies and superstition. Well, that wasn't fun. Tech increase. The Dorloth mourn the death of a great wise person. The Dorloth establish another new tribe. The Dorloth grow to fear their ruthless chieftain. Uh-oh. Extinction in Rigel. That's not a good idea. Okay. Broken food chain. The Dorloth overhunt their prey and gather too many edible plants. A chain reaction in the ecosystem could leave them without any food source. Because of this, the land dries up, and all who live in it waste away. The beasts of the field, the birds in the sky, and the fish in the sea are swept away. Well, that seems to be a bad thing. Complete extinction. Just call it a loss, get some points out of him, just wipe it off. So, close call. As soon as the first animal species disappear and plants stop growing, the Dorloth tribes adopt a strict hunting codex to avoid catastrophe. That seems unlikely. Minimal survivors. Most tribes starve to death. A small fraction of the Dorloth learn to spare certain species, and the ecosystem recovers slowly. 2.1 million Dorloth lives lost. Right. Or the ecosystem is unable to recover. Hunger and desperation force the Dorloth to exterminate more and more species until no food is left and they all perish. I'm gonna go with that one's probably the most likely, but I like my plants. So let's see how they do with minimal survivors. Oh dear. Look at that population number go down. Let's let's urge them a little bit more towards utopia then. The Dorloth compose an epic poem recounting their history. Depopulation in Rigel. Toxic plants. The Dorloth find a sweet and delicious plant in the wilderness of Rigel 7. Unfortunately, its consumption is deadly in the long term, and many Dorloth become ill and perish. Cerberus, provoked to a rabid frenzy, filled all the air with his simultaneous three-headed howling, and spattered the green fields with white flecks of foam. These are supposed to have congealed and found food to multiply, gaining harmful strength from the rich soil. Alright. Wise folk of Dorloth find a way to neutralize the toxin. The tale travels fast and the sweet food is available for all tribes on Rigel 7. That seems a little bit unlikely for a Stone Age civilization, but maybe they got wanderers and travelers. Many perish because of the extensive intake of toxin, and the Dorloth start to avoid most plants they find in the wilderness. The numbers of their tribes slowly decline. The Dorloth are addicted to the sweet but toxic plants and grow them en masse around their settlements. A connection between their beloved food and the strong decline of population is never made. I'm not sure they could survive this one. Let's go with some prevention. That one. Where will the gods lead us? How about to war? No, that one. Some of these are very random, and I'm curious where those lead. Let's go with less hostility. Powerful new hunting band is formed on Rigel 7. Uh-oh. Soul System. Sapient life evolved on Earth. Welcome us. A life form on Earth start making simple tools and develop rudimentary language, but which species will form a Stone Age civilization in the Soul System? You will have to foster these creatures too. Guide them in parallel with the other civilizations in the galaxy, and one day they may make contact. Synthesis can be used to help any society. Sometimes you'll have to make hard choices to ensure the survival of everyone. The dolphins, schools of playful sea mammals exploring endless oceans. The humans, a group of hairless humanoid mammals, aggressive but also quite clever. The dinosaurs, giant feathered reptiles with small brains. They hunt and they eat. Ooh. I'm tempted to spend some points on the dolphins, give them a fair shot. Let's do it. On Earth, the dolphin civilization is born. An ambitious dolphin tribe conquers the new territories. Uh-oh. Dorloth starved tribes development event. Power in Rigel. Is it good power, or... Dorloth attempt to tame ferocious and menacing beasts which roam the wilderness of Rigel 7, for the military purpose of riding them into battle as a way to frighten and maim their enemies. Just the idea of sentient plant monsters that live underground riding tamed beasts across the wilderness. Just great. Alright, so... creatures are too dangerous and cannot be tamed. They appear to kill indiscriminately, disemboweling their would-be masters and generally running amok. The Dorloth gradually build trust with the wild animals by feeding and caring for them. The beasts in turn cooperate with their riders, even bravely marching into war when necessary. Dorloth shamans preach of the need to dominate the beasts, since the threat of their enemies doing so remains an open possibility. The creatures are treated cruelly to make them even more ferocious. So, if we go with prevention, we lose a lot of synthesis points. But it stops them from riding beasts to war. If we go with regular development or absolute power, it causes more warfare potential. So let's go with regular development. Moderately peaceful taming of the beasts. Let's give them a little bit of a population boon, shall we? They abandon their clans and wander Rigel 7 in search of new lands. More people. Now, is this more death or less death? Potential war casualties 315%. Alright. That is definitely the bad option. Okay. Good. Great. Resource scarcity in 30,000 years. I think they can afford to not have more resource. So, random. Use cave paintings to spread lies and superstition. Great. Good job, guys. Dolphin tribes. Growth in soul. Some dolphins worship fertility deities in long rites that symbolize mating, motherhood, and sexual fortitude. The elaborate rituals involve fruits and herbal infusions that arouse the libido, while drums beat, stimulating rhythms, and mating partners dance in rapture through the night. The resulting wave of procreation could lead to a population surge on Earth. Communing with the goddesses inspires strong self-confidence and appreciation for the wonders of the dolphin body. The rites give dolphins a deep spiritual connection to their fertility. Sex, pregnancy, and births are considered sacred. Or dead-end. Because other tribes view them as bizarre and perverted, the deity worshippers develop shame and abandon their traditions. So we get a couple extra points for that, which is an interesting choice because that does not lead to more population growth. Let's go with moderate, healthy regard for sex and fertility, because that's important to have a growing population, unlike the plant monsters who basically got themselves all killed. Whoops. I may or may not have had a hand in that. Uh-oh. Injustice causes suffering and despair amongst the dolphins. But, new technological age. Dolphins have reached the Bronze Age. In the Bronze Age, the dolphins begin testing the limits of their planet's generosity by cultivating crops, raising animals for food, and clearing forests in order to build primitive cities. Early mining and metalworking skills allow them to craft better weapons and tools, and they learn how to document knowledge via written language. I am fascinated by the concept of dolphins mining. The Bronze Age. Wisdom. The dolphins apply their newfound knowledge and communication skills to societal improvements in the budding disciplines of medicine, law, and philosophy. New techniques and tools allow the dolphins to explore new areas, preserve their natural resources, and develop early infrastructure. Or defense becomes increasingly necessary as dolphins begin exerting more power over one another, and hunting bands evolve into primitive armies. Well, I don't think that one's a good idea, but if I need points, that's the answer. Now, I can see a challenge coming if I don't have points. I could potentially run into a situation where I can't save a civilization. But let's see. Technological advancement and advancement towards utopia, or population and resource usage. Let's go with technological advancement and advancement towards utopia. That seems dolphin-like. Bronze Age technology provides the dolphins access to minerals on the surface of Earth. Let's go with that one. Number of simple quarries on Earth increases. Back to the Dorloth here. Knowledge in Rigel. Okay. The Dorloth create long and beautiful songs full of deep knowledge about the world and their people. These songs are memorized, improved, and taught from generation to generation. Unfortunately, our plants, who started first, are a little bit behind. Now, I could fix that, apparently, by giving them a huge tech boost. These songs are crucial for the society of Dorloth. They sing them constantly, and those who master the songs are chosen to lead their tribes. The songs help the Dorloth spread and preserve knowledge. Or, quickly, the songs are filled with false information and become useless, soon to be forgotten. I'm kind of tempted to go with this. The idea of singing plants, advancing their civilization through song. I like it. Let's give them a little bit of utopia. The Dorloth created new, wonderful songs about their history. Let's give them resources? Dorloth textile artworks represent harmony on Rigel 7. We're getting somewhere good. Wonderful new songs about their history again. Let's reduce some of that war. Storytellers of Rigel 7 inspire the Dorloth to live peacefully. About dang time. How about a random event? Suffering and despair. Well, dang. But somehow that reduced potential war and increased tech levels, so I'll take it. Dolphin Ecclesias, reduction in soul. Due to the continuous developments within sedentary horticulture communities, more and more beautiful garden complexes are constructed all around Earth. There is increased interest in the physical and mental well-being that gardens can offer the dolphins. When we start to plant the trees that never blossomed in our lifetime, only then will our hive really grow. So, we have Civilization Pillar. Gardens are seen as an essential part of any healthy society. Every settlement on Earth is now surrounded by extended, beautiful garden structures. Or, only the very wealthy speakers can afford to adorn their palaces with gardens. On the upside, this results in garden design becoming a highly revered art form. Or, a lot of water is diverted to fuel the abundance of gardens, which takes precedence over fertile farmlands. Several generations later, the dolphins suffer heavily due to unusable fields and dried up rivers. I could gain some points from that, but dolphin gardens. Dolphin gardens. Let's give them a moderate amount of dolphin gardens. That also increased their resource scarcity by 20,000 years. We've extended the life potential of this dolphin civilization greatly. Less war for the dolphins. Dolphin spear fighters lay down their bronze spears and abandon the art of war. Random. That was an increase in tech and a slight decrease in war casualties and a slight decrease in resource scarcity. Okay, I'm trying to get an idea of what all the random stuff does. Paradigm shift in Rigel. Domestication of small predator animals. Oh, they got cats. Rigel 7 is home to a species of predator with high emotional intelligence and complex social behavior. A beneficial coexistence promises to emerge between these approachable creatures and the Stone Age Dorloth, with whom they appear to seek companionship for the benefits of food, petting, and shelter. Dogs do speak, but only to those who know how to listen. Okay, so here's where we could potentially spend all of my points. Cultural Ascent. The adorable predators are not only safe from the dinner plate, they are also spared from being handled as property. The concept of enslaving these friendly beasts with cages and leashes is unthinkable among the Dorloth. Or, natural hunters and loyal protectors, the animals play a key role in establishing new clans and dangerous territories on Rigel 7. The creatures evolve into domesticated servants. Alright. Or, the predatory animals are primarily seen as food, but are also tied to guard posts on the borders of settlements to ward off unwanted trespassers. I could get quite a few points for that, but it drops the utopia drastically as well as potential war casualties increased. So that's a bad thing. This one is going to give me significant population, which kind of we desperately need, but will decrease my resource scarcity timeline. Or I could spend a whole bunch of points to make them like worship cats. But let's go with a middle road here. Population is good. Let's fix some more of that war casualty, see if we can bring that down. Conflict between two major Dorloth-starved tribes is settled peacefully. The Dolphins have reached the Iron Age. Empires and trading states rise to power in the Iron Age. The metalworking Dolphins forge tools and develop the skills needed to create simple machinery, while expanding technological discourse could provide them with a sense of purpose and a moral compass. Organized religion also has the potential to bring about great atrocities. I am fascinated by the idea of dolphins wielding forging hammers. Wisdom. Monks transcribe knowledge in books that scholars are eager to get their hands on. As ever, Dolphinity looks to the heavens for guidance. The dolphins produce mighty blades by mining and melting resources from deep within Earth, and new construction techniques accelerate their city building. Or an epic dynasty wars, dolphins iterate siege weaponry against the well-fortified castles of their foes. Well, that doesn't sound great. We could increase their population and resource scarcity. Or we can increase their tech level and utopia. Dolphin monks. Yes. 100% dolphin monks. More resource timeline. Dolphin ballads represent harmony on Earth. Dorloth have reached the Bronze Age, huzzah! I wasn't sure they'd ever make it. Looks like same writing here. Alright, so wisdom, advancement, or power. I think advancement is probably the safest bet. New techniques and tools allow the Dorloth to explore new areas, preserve their natural resources, and develop early infrastructure. They do actually need that boost to resource scarcity anyway. So, and population, so this is actually the perfect shot for them. They can advance slower, and utopia slower, that's fine. Technology provides the Dorloth access to easy mine resources. And the dolphins are advancing. Enlightenment and soul. The Holy City, a city that has rumored to have sacred powers, starts drawing spiritualists, priests, and sages from all corners of Earth. I love my happy dolphins, they're great. Alright. So, civilization pillar. The Holy City becomes a center of spiritual and philosophical debate. Countless scriptures are created to spread the wisdom to all dolphins on Earth. The dominant religion of the dolphins claims the Holy City for itself. The teachings of the city's writers are absorbed into the church's doctrine. Or we could get some points by dead-ending the Holy City. The dolphins start to worship the city itself and not the teachings of the inhabitants. Zealots conquer the place, and slowly the city loses its appeal to the masses. So I could potentially jumpstart my utopia quite a bit with either of these. Or I could get some points back with minimal losses. I enjoyed the age of the dolphin monks, but I think it's time for that to come to an end and get some points back. Settled peacefully, wonderful. Give them some more resource timeline. A depleted land region on Earth recovers under the care of dolphin alchemists. Dolphin alchemists. Perfect. Evolution event. The Gliese System. Sapient life evolves on Gliese Sea. But which one? Gliese, a red dwarf star, is orbited by the desert planet Gliese C and various rocky planets. The iron oxide in the atmosphere gives the rocky desert of the planet Gliese C a distinct reddish color. All animals on the planet's surface carry additional water reservoirs and specialized organs so they can survive in the desert. Huge hypersaline lakes divide the land regions, and between their salt crystal shores, vast forests of transparent flower trees are flourishing. Alright, so 66 synthesis to work with. I can get the prun, or prune. Peaceful observers, these gentle herds of four-eyed, horse-like humanoids roam the wide rock deserts. The Rao, aggressive and solitary, these naturally armored creatures inhabit barren wastelands. Or the Kar, always hungry and merciless, these nightmarish avian creatures rule the sky. Well, that's kind of terrifying. I'm kind of suffering a little bit with the last unbalanced species, so maybe I should go with the bug critters. I kind of like these guys, and I kind of like the idea of having multiple races that are doing fairly well together, but that's a lot of points. And instead, I could use those points to advance the bugs a little bit further. Maybe. We'll see. Bugs. On Gliese, the Rao civilization is born. The Rao mourn the death of a beloved chieftain. And something else happens elsewhere. Injustice in Rigel. The rule of the elders. Traditionally, the elderly are highly respected in Rigel. Now that larger Dorloth-starved realms are formed, the authority of the elders is put into law. The oldest could be chosen as great rulers, not because of their wit or skill, but simply because tradition demands it. That seems like a bad plan. I'm all for respecting your elders, but seniority is not the best plan unless they can prove that they are fit to lead. Respect for the elderly does not automatically give every Dorloth elder the right to rule over others. In general, great rulers are still being chosen based on merit. That's the best plan. However, regular development, some starved realms become fanatical gerontocracies with varying degrees of success. Others decide on auxiliary methods to choose their great rulers. The entire Dorloth civilization adopts to the rule of old great rulers. The young do not enjoy any rights and have to follow the will of their elders, even if those elders are cruel or unfit to govern. That seems like a bad plan. Let's prevent this whole nonsense. We could go with regular development, but it's bad. Like, it just eases us towards dystopia for expense and points. Well, let's just prevent all this nonsense. Our resource scarcity is coming close here. That's a bad thing. Population, though. Oh, more population really kills resource scarcity. Okay, that's good. That's great. The tech level, absolutely. Uh-oh, that resource scarcity, though, dropping fast. Oh, no. Meanwhile, the dolphins have reached the nautical age. Wait, hold up. The dolphins have reached the nautical age. Pretty sure they did that first before anything else. The dolphins develop vessels capable of exploring the farthest corners of their planet. The flourishing traffic of goods and ideas advances the fields of navigation, chemistry, and engineering. While rough pirates sail the sea regions of Earth, universities house printed books, safeguarding the accumulation of knowledge of dolphin civilization. Wisdom. The discovery of new lands and peoples inspires the dolphins to re-examine social and scientific principles. Exploration encourages the dolphins to engineer larger vessels and better food preservation to keep up with the demands of the global trade. The dolphins craft new weapons to conquer, plunder, and wage war on each other. Well, we know that is a possibility. Let's go with better population and resource scarcity. Kind of want to spend on the points, but the dolphins are doing fine. I need the points for everyone else. So, dolphins, you guys get to advance normally. This will be fine. The Rao tribes. Well, dang it. Rise of the Beasts. Aggressive predator beasts on Gliese savagely attack their intelligent tool-making neighbors. The creatures target settlements and replicate fast, jeopardizing the survival of Rao. close call. The Rao react quickly and defend their settlements by building complicated traps for the predators. Minimal survivors. Predators are a horrific menace to the Rao. Many settlements fall and survivors flee to remote islands where the beasts cannot reach them. Lose all but 100,000 of them. A 90% death rate. Oh god. Sure. Or complete extinction. I could drop the Rao right now and get a whole bunch of points. The Rao are no match against the monstrous animals. Younglings are eaten in the night, and the hunters are overpowered by sheer numbers. After only a few generations, the Rao are completely extinct. Let's keep... Oh, interesting. I can choose to keep going with the Rao, with either severe losses, or no problem whatsoever, without any penalties. Or I can wipe them out and get points. Let's keep them going, though. I'm curious. Brando. On behalf of the Rao tribes, a powerful hunting band defeats a horde of beast trappers. Kind of liking these random ones. The Rao process Gliese plant biomass into new materials. Speaking of plants, depopulation on Rigel. Crop plagues. Primitive Dorloth field crops are plagued by pest insects and plant diseases. The population of Rigel 7 suffers as entire harvests are lost. So we can spend some points to prevent it. Experiment with crop rotation, pathogen-free seed, natural pesticides to successfully counter the disaster. We can let them develop regularly, losing a little bit of population. A variety of mostly ineffective techniques are used on the crop plague, losing many yields in the process. The Dorloth population starts to decline. Or plant diseases mutate and crop-eating insects swarm fields, starving the inhabitants of Rigel 7. The species abandons farming and returns to hunting and collecting wild plants. I mean, these guys are going to be dead in less than 1,000 years. I'm kind of tempted to depopulate them and get points out of it. See if we can get that resource scarcity back up and bring them back again. Let's do it. That didn't even phase the resource scarcity, but we lost half our population growth. Resources! We get resources! Dorloth sculptures represent harmony on Rigel 7. We got like a couple dozen years at most. Oh great. Okay. It's fine. Dorloth reached the Iron Age though. Despite everything, they've reached the Iron Age. Okay, so here's where this is probably the best bet. Gives that resource scarcity I need. But let's read them. Same setup as before. Monks transcribing knowledge, mighty blades, or war siege machinery, etc. Dolphins went wisdom route, so let's go with the advancement route. That resource scarcity. Welcome back. Now able to increase the size of their cities. And the dolphins are back. Alright, the plants were down, but they are not out. Whale hunting fleets. The hunting of big water beasts starts to become a major industry on Earth. These majestic giant creatures are being hunted for food, medicine, and prestige, risking them to become extinct. So we can prevent it. The dolphin hunters have sorely underestimated the oceanic beasts, who, in fear of their lives, band together to destroy the hunting ships that come for them. No sailor is willing to sign up for these suicide missions again. Let it develop. Large fleets of beast hunters dwell the oceans and capture the majestic creatures, but because of seafaring technology is not proficient yet, beasts in some areas of the Earth are left unnoticed and unharmed. Or, sea creature hunt is very lucrative, and hunting fleets become bigger and more elaborate. Within a decade, every large water beast on Earth has been killed. That's a bad thing. Let's prevent this. A little bit of short-term pain for those dolphins that get beaten to submission, but the big whales are safe. The whale-dolphin war has been averted. Will in the far future our sun fade away and bring eternal darkness to Earth? Perhaps. Will you last that long? Probably not. And the Rao tribes are back in it. Reaching the Bronze Age. Nice. Good job, guys. Rao apply their newfound knowledge and communication skills to societal improvements and the budding disciplines of medicine, law, and philosophy. That seems like a good plan. A little bit of utopia, a little bit more tech. Let's give them some population. Promising new settlement. Wonderful. Agricultural production exhausts a large land region. Great. That's fine. Dorloth's starved kingdoms back in. Growth in Rigel. Farmers on Rigel 7 document the behavior of pollinating insects using the knowledge to coax distinct hybrid plants from the soil. The hybrids are miraculously fertile, whispering promises of an age of plenty for the Dorloth. Good. They needed the resources. Question is, can I do something about that? Hybrid crops are devoured by a pestilent species. Native to Rigel 7, Dorloth returned to ancient farming methods. Well, that seems like a bad thing. Some of the hybrid crops fail, but others survive, producing moderate population growth in Dorloth cities. Or hybrid plants thrive even under harsh conditions, spreading across Rigel 7, nourishing generations of Dorloth. Now, this is pure population growth. It's not resource scarcity. So that's interesting that the plants that provide direct resources are not providing direct resources. But that's fine. We'll give them the excessive amount of population. Let's give them those resources that they desperately need. That was a couple dozen years again. Great. Life after death? I don't know. Seems like most you're going to find out pretty soon here. The mightiest warships ever built set sail on the seas of Earth. The Dolphins have armed these powerful vessels with hundreds of cannons, forming an unstoppable force against naval and coastal enemies. Encumbered with cannons and commanded by incompetent captains, many of these expensive vessels sink before reaching any battle. Dolphins decommission the ships. Mighty naval frigates become a common class of ship within the navies of the Dolphins. Fleets of warships dominate the oceans of Earth. Venerated admirals rise to power and become the leaders of the Dolphins. I could probably do this one, because I could use more points, and the potential for war is so far down that it shouldn't be a huge issue. But I'm also not sure I like the idea of Dolphin admirals roaming the seas, conquering everything. Screw it. Points. We only lost 4% of potential war casualties. Not bad. Not bad. Another Dolphin sovereign rises to power on Earth. And we have a new Dolphin age. The Industrial Age. The Dolphins start to study electricity, steam power, and machine manufacturing in the Industrial Age. Harnessing the power of radio waves might allow them to send signals into outer space, but this civilization could accidentally eradicate itself as weapons development thrusts forth. Interference with the plant poses a serious threat to the ecosystem that has sustained dolphinity through the ages. So, what are we going to do with the Dolphins? This age sees the explosion in the dolphin potential for telecommunication via radio waves. Mass-produced goods introducing new medicines could improve the lives of many. Hard work and ingenuity are needed to manage the rapid urbanization without critically harming the planet. Train networks across vast swaths of Earth offer high-speed mobility for both freight and passengers. Or the Dolphins focus their efforts on designing tanks, bomber planes, and simple automatic weapons for increased leverage against enemies. Naval warfare also gets industrialized. Well, again, we know the problems with that. Let's see. Tech and utopia. Population and resource scarcity. You know what? Let's jumpstart the Dolphins. We'll use their previous point gain with the naval wars and throw that right at advancing the Dolphins. Large industrial areas with industrial production pipelines. Technology of the industrialization gives Dolphins access to fossil fuels and mineral resources deep under the surface of the Earth. More resources, please. Dolphin agricultural architects establish new resource management methods. That one. I don't want more dolphins. A new democracy. Good for them. Scientists manipulate the dolphin democracies for personal gain. Well, not good for them. Alright. Knowledge in Gliese. Wonderful. Rao start worshipping a pantheon of wise and clever gods. The priesthood starts to gather and record knowledge as a way of honoring their deities. Alright. Civilization Pillar. Priesthood of the wisdom gods spreads and becomes wisely influential. The connection between holiness and knowledge becomes deeply rooted in Rao society. Some Rao become devotees of wisdom gods, dutifully gathering knowledge and preserving it for the benefit of all members of society. Or other cults become more popular with the Rao, and the tenets of the wisdom gods become lost to time. Well, they don't have all that much time left based on resource scarcity. So let's give them a big old boost to civilization. Big, scary bug creatures in the desert, worshipping gods of wisdom, and being holy bugs. Holy bugs. What knowledge will the wisdom gods grant our wisdom priests? Agricultural production exhausts a large land region. That's not good. Rao have reached the Iron Age. Great. The Iron Age. Well, this uses literally all of my points, so I will immediately kill all of my choices after that. Let's give them advancement. That should be fine. Good. That actually does pretty good for the resource scarcity. Increase the size of their cities. Great. Harvesting the biomass on the surface of Gliese is also good. Tech level increase. Mourning the death of a great wisdom priest who leaves behind important scientific life work. And let's give them some utopia as well. Beautiful ballads are shared among the Rao on Gliese. More tech. A remarkable wisdom priest is celebrated on Gliese for their contributions to Rao society. And let's reduce some of that war as well. Settling conflict peacefully. Mandate of Heaven. In a region of Rigel 7, the Dorloth believe that their monarchs are chosen by gods to rule over them. A powerful dynasty arises and establishes a celestial kingdom, but it is told that the will of heaven can be revoked if the rulers displease the gods. Question is this a good thing or not for these guys? Costs an arm and a leg to go cultural ascent. Church authorities interpret successful revolts as evidence that the mandate of heaven has passed, so the influence of the celestial kingdom fades away. Celestial Empire expands all over Rigel 7. The belief that their domain should reach everything under the sky leads to exploration and many new cities. If a great monarch is defeated in battle, they lose the mandate of the gods, so the throne could be contested by anyone with enough Dorloth power. Population and drastic drop in resources. I think this might actually spell the end of the Dorloth. Because they only have 200 something years left. Oh no. The alternative is I could do cultural descent, cast them deep into war and dystopia, get some points out of the deal, and they're probably going to die in a moment anyway. Or I could somehow attempt to salvage them with almost all of my points. You know what? They chose the mandate of the gods. They chose the great monarchs. They chose their fate. They're going to descend into cultural chaos. Conflict settled peacefully. Bull. I disbelieve. Another conflict settled peacefully. Alright. They're still alive. Technically. Back to the dolphin democracies. Sol is sending signals into space. Dolphins test the capacity of new radio technology, unaware that some of these cryptic radio waves may reach faraway alien civilizations in the future. All over Earth, dolphin engineers transmit powerful radio signals in all directions. A strong radio signal with nonsense messages like 1, 2, 3 or test, test, test is focused at the Rigel System. Frequencies of test signals are erratic and no notable signal was sent out into space. Ooh. I mean, I can tell you right now that the Rigel System isn't going to be getting that. They are not going to get it. So we'll not spend the extra points on that. Silence gets me points. But also I'm not sure if we're going to get another chance for this, because this is the first time we've seen the radio signal. First round nonsense seems like a thing we would do. Interesting. So now we have Vex, Tau Ceti, and Frogstar. I don't know if these are relevant. I don't know if these locations are relevant to anything. But clearly, Dorloth is not doing great. Can I visit them? I can visit them. I think I can kind of choose. I mean, it's been guiding me all up until this point, but I think I can kind of choose where I focus and see if I can guide them more forcefully, I guess. Interesting. I'm kind of curious where all this is going to go. But I think for right now, that will be it. This is fascinating. Fascinating. It's definitely not my usual. I usually prefer a little bit more action-oriented, graphically intensive stuff. But this kind of, I guess, almost point-and-click storyline kind of thing, it can be definitely interesting on its own. I'm digging it so far. That will be it for the Fermi Paradox for right now. If you'd like to see more, let me know, either in Discord or in the comments down below. Thank you for joining me. See you next time.